My name is Charlie Pham. I'm the owner of BFF Asian Grill and 495. I have been doing business for 25 years and everything was great. Business good until COVID came in March. And I tell you, that was the worst time ever in my life. Business shut down. There was no inside seating other than just to go only. So then we trying to figure out how to deal with this COVID for time being, and we don't know what's tomorrow gonna be. When are we gonna open again? And then, bang, DoorDash and Uber Eats show up. I was so excited, basically because I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then we start to talk about the fees and all that stuff, and there was a big bump right in my face, 30% commission. Well, I sit down for a second and I go, 30% commission, how do I pay that? We don't make 30% commission. We negotiate, I was hoping to get something better. Well, a week later they come back. The final offer was 25%. Even that, I just can't do it. The feeling of being in the dark, not knowing what happened tomorrow, not knowing the future of your business, and I do have all the business to back up. But just imagine people that save all their life saving, spend the money to buy the restaurant just 5 months prior to the COVID, not knowing where their future is going to be. The children, they have kids in college, the tuition fees, all that stuff light up right in the front of their face. Well, I wasn't happy. I hate it because I think I'm speaking on behalf of all the restaurant owners. We work so hard to make ends meet. We got payroll, we got employees to take care of, we got taxes to take care of, all that stuff. But how do we pay all that fees and expenses without opening the restaurant? And then we hire someone to deliver food for us from our restaurant to the end user. But 30% won't cut it. I got mad, I got so mad. And one Saturday, I just knocked in my son's room and said, son, I'm pissed. He go, why are you pissed, Dad? I said, listen, I'm trying to think how to deal with this COVID, but I think the only way for me to resolve this problem is to open my own application, a tech application to resolve the online order delivery business. I gotta find a way to cut the cost for all the restaurant owners to make sure they can survive if this COVID would last months or years.
So my name is Pham. I'm Charlie's son, and to be completely honest with you, when my dad knocks on my door, it's either he has something really crazy to say or I'm in trouble. So here he goes, he comes in my room and he's like, Gene, I'm pissed. I'm like, why are you so mad? He's like, well, I barely make any money right now, especially with COVID, and these delivery companies are coming in charging me, upwards to 25 to 30% on my deliveries if I were to deliver with them. And I was like, well, what are you going to do about it? And he says, well, I want to start a delivery app. And I was like, and initially when I heard that, I was like, man, this guy's crazy, I mean, you got so many competitors in the market now, how are you supposed to do that? And so he talked to me about lowering the commission fee to 15%. Initially, we didn't have the percent figured out yet, but after hours of research, we came to that 15%. And so, and knowing my dad, he's a crazy guy, and when he says he's gonna do something, he'll get it done. And I know that because I've seen him, open and run a lot of businesses, and none of them have gone under at all. So, we talked for hours, and we finally came to the conclusion that this is a viable idea. And so after that, he told me he was gonna go talk to Bryan. He left my room, and that was the end of that.
After I left this room, keep thinking something gotta be done. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, and the only way to do this is I have to start my own tech application. That's when I called Bryan. I'll tell you, Bryan hates me. Bryan will not like my phone call on Sunday. So I called him, I say, Bryan, I'm pissed. He kind of concerned because he thought I was gonna fire him or whatever. I asked Bryan, you gotta find a way to put this team together and develop an app to help the restaurants to do better if this COVID will keep going on for months or years.
So Charlie calls me on a Sunday, and let me kind of tell you a little bit about our relationship before we get into this Sunday. We've been doing marketing for Charlie for quite some time, and a funny story is we have actually been fired already once. And so when he calls me on a Sunday, it's normally not good, right? And surely enough, when I picked up the phone, I answered. I said, "Hey Charlie, how's it going?" He said, "Bryan, I'm pissed." I said, "Oh, I've been running restaurants for 25 years, and these delivery businesses, these delivery apps are trying to come in and charge me 25 to 30%. And I said, "Okay, all right." And then he said, "I want to build an app." And that's when I was like, "Are you for real? Are you serious?" And so he said, "Yeah, I want to build an app. I need you to put a team together." So then it got surreal because I was like, okay, he's actually serious. I need to put together a team. I don't want to just start an app. I want to help restaurants. And in order to do that, we've got to build a business. We got to build a culture. So then we partnered with Charlie. So we started to establish this partnership, and that's when we brought in a UI UX designer. We brought in a full stack developer, and we started to get to work. And it feels just like yesterday because we were thinking about how are we going to do this. So when we first started working on the concept, Charlie's biggest vision was to help the restaurants, and we can understand that because restaurants were affected the most from COVID-19. But after we did a lot of research, we found that drivers were just as much as affected. How can an industry of so much potential have so many unsatisfied restaurants, drivers, and consumers? It just didn't make sense. And so finally, Charlie and our team sat down and said, we've got to do something to fix this. And I think it's because Charlie really does care about people. He's trying to find ways to pay drivers more. And at the end of the day, you take care of the drivers, you take care of the restaurants, and you provide consumers better service. Everybody wins. It's a win-win situation.
So I did some research, actually a lot of research, to figure out how these guys are doing out there. The most common mistakes or problem is drivers. Drivers not happy because they get paid nothing for 5-6 hours because there's no tip from customers. And also the customers are not happy because they're not getting what they want. And the restaurants is also get called from customer because their food is not there on time. I want to take care of all those three problems. Restaurants, make sure they're successful. Driver, make sure they get paid well. And the end user will get their food hot and on time. And that is our mission.